Hi everyone, welcome to With the Messenger. My name is Whitney and this will be your new moon in Sagittarius forecast. It's happening on December the 1st, 2024 at 9 degrees. The ruler of this moon is Jupiter and it is retrograde in the sign of Gemini. Now this is interesting because we have a mutual reception between Gemini and Sagittarius rulers. Jupiter is retrograde there in Gemini and Jupiter rules Sagittarius, but Gemini's ruler Mercury is retrograde there in the sign of Sagittarius, and they form an opposition on this day. So I am feeling the energy for this new moon will be, and it may sound cliche, however, it's like the archer. You pull the arrow back before it launches forward. So you're going to have to go back over some things, okay? And based off those things, you're going to be planting seeds. Now remember, full moon and new moon lunations, you start to feel the effects within 2 weeks. You start to see the themes within 2 weeks, but it takes 6 months for full completion. Okay, so you will see the full results of this in June, or maybe end of May in Gemini season in 2025. I want you to see if you could look back in your camera roll, your notes, your emails, what was happening for you around November 29th, 2016 to June of 2017. What was happening in that 6-month period? Because that's when the lunation of a new moon in Sagittarius was very close to this one. Let me let it pass. It was very close to this one. That one then in 2016 was at 7 degrees. Okay, so what is it that was happening in your Sagittarius whole sign house back then that you could kind of infer, okay, what this new moon is, what type of seeds is it asking you to plant? Okay, let me just go through these quickly. This will activate the fixed star on Taurus. It's exactly at 9 degrees Sagittarius as well, and it is a royal star. It's the heart of the Scorpion. And when you think about Scorpio energy, you have to think about that protective energy, okay? With this star, they could have a bit of suspicious energy that comes around, and it really plays in with the Sabian symbol, which I'm going to tell you about right now, okay? Someone could be stubborn, really stand their ground with this star being activated, especially if they have this star natally activated in their birth chart, meaning they have a planet that is conjunct, or a planet that is at 9, 10, or 11 degrees, 8, 9, or 10 degrees Sagittarius. This is activated in that person's chart. This is someone who could have several marriages, so we may hear things about celebrities or famous people, or politicians, about marriages, about them getting married, something to that degree. This is also a star of honor. It is a fortunate star, right? Like I said, it does have an energy here about stubbornness, suspicion, and violence. There's shadow and light in everything under the sun. All right. Divination and astronomy may become a major topic post this new moon. Okay. And people could kind of put some propaganda around it. Like some people may try to poke holes in the validity of astrology, of divination practices. Some astrologers may have hits, like they may take off, they may get public recognition and reward because something that they had predicted prior comes true, okay? That's also something that could happen. So the Sabian symbol for this is a theatrical representation of a golden hair goddess of opportunity. So this is something that appears to be, but you're not certain. Here goes the suspicion. You're not certain if it really is. So let's talk about the positive and negatives of this Sabian symbol. Rewards can come with it. Awards, sense of presence, being acknowledged, especially for a natural talent, okay? Some of those rewards could lead to, it may be small, but it could lead to something bigger and better. Charisma, beauty, the way someone looks, Okay, it could open doors for them, it could get them into doors, okay, but then other things keep them there type energy. The negative of this, the first one I found was acting out on impulses, which made me think about the Knight of Wands in the tarot. So we'll see if that comes up for anyone to signs. All right. It could also be someone who's constantly chasing things that comes to nothing. So whenever I think about runner chaser dynamics, it always makes me think that they're the two sides of the same coin. Simply because someone who's running, yes, they're running away from something, their self. But someone who's chasing someone is also running away from something themselves. Okay, so there's this energy of needing to face yourself and not try to run away, but people may try. Falseness will be a theme here. Hence again, that's suspicious, because some things will be presented that it may appear one way, representation of a gold-haired goddess of opportunity, but it may not really be that. Okay, and it makes sense. You know, we have Mercury retrograde happening, and Mercury retrograde, you think you're signing something, and then down the line you have to revisit it because some type of detail was missing. Okay, that's not me saying don't go and sign anything, but with this energy, there's definitely a need to look at the details very carefully and ask questions. Mercury doesn't do well in Sagittarius, okay, because Mercury wants to look at it the little details of everything, but Sagittarius wants a big picture. All right, like I said, propaganda could be a thing, and also judging people by their looks. Okay, so someone could think that someone doesn't know anything, they're not significant, and then they get to find out, oh, this person is the person who's hiring, or the CEO of the company, or this person is just naturally talented and gifted, and they need their skill, they need their ability. So don't underestimate people here either. There's major theme around appearance, okay, how something looks. On the same day, Mercury will be opposite Jupiter. What I feel about this is, firstly, Mercury will be at 20 degrees. 20 degrees, that's a Scorpio degree. That has to do with like things that are secret, things that are hidden. So there could be an energy of deception here about what being presented, not to really trust it. Okay, there's also this energy here which made me think about Knight of Wands, Page of Wands energy of not growing up at 20 degrees Sagittarius, right? Not really maturing, not really taking accountability or responsibility for their actions. So there's something that someone could be communicating to you. They could try to dance around, you know, really standing by whatever it is that they're saying or presenting, even if it's a work situation. Okay, now Jupiter will be there at 17 degrees Gemini, which is so interesting because my sun is at my sun sign is at 17 degrees Gemini, so I really need to sit with this and see how this will affect me. But that has to do with either like-minded people finding each other or realizing two people have really different views. And that's what I was thinking overall for this energy. It's going to come down to the question, do we want the same things? Or realizing, we did want the same things, but there were so many like suspicions, not being trusting, so have you. All right. And then also on the day, we're going to have Venus in the sign of Capricorn trine Uranus in the sign of Taurus. So it's good to have that grounded earth energy amidst all that mutable, you know, air and fire, impulsive type energy. It helps to slow things down a little bit, I feel. And we're going to talk for your individual sign what this could present for you that day in terms of the whole new moon story for you. So I'm going to start first with Aries. Aries, this is happening in your 9th house, right? The traditional house for Sagittarius. This could be a time where you realize you want to take a long distance trip, or you see that you have to take some type of long distance trip. Jupiter is there in your 3rd house. Mercury is there in your 9th house. You may have thought that you could have done something right there where you are in your 3rd house, but Jupiter is kind of asking you to think bigger than where you are. Think outside the box of where you are. Okay, but then Mercury is there in your ninth house saying, well, there's a lot that you're gonna have to do. There's a lot of paperwork, right? Mercury has to do with paperwork. So for some of you, that could be your story. This is also a house about ethical values, moral values. So you really could be shifting your perception about your beliefs on certain things, or you're really firm in your belief and you're realizing that maybe there are people around me that, especially with that opposition between Mercury and Jupiter, based on things that are communicated, where you might question whether or not these are the people that you want to be around. Okay, there goes that difference of views, right? You may want to find your own type of like-minded people. It may propel you really into finding your own community of people. And it's not about having people who think exactly like you, but it's about having people who value the same things that you value, because then you put yourself in a position to be disappointed much less. Okay, and we can't run from disappointments. I know we can't, but why are you going to be like a simple example? If you are someone who value loyalty, why are you going to befriend people who just betray others like it's nothing? It's clear your values aren't aligned, right? So think about that. On the same day, Venus is going to trine Uranus. So that's your 10th house and your 2nd house. There's some type of money opportunity that is trying to come in for you here. But again, I feel that it's going to require travel for some of you all, because it's in your 9th house, okay? And it's up to you whether you say it's worth it, you know. This is somewhere that I could grow and thrive, because there are people who, they value my opinion, they value what I have to bring to the table. Or you tell yourself, man, I don't really trust this offer that I am getting. I need more details, okay? That's up to you. If you have the time, then wait it out, you know. But if you don't, then you're gonna have to have a decision there to make, okay? Like I said, Mercury is there retrograde at 20 degrees. There's this energy of deception, but then there's also this energy of not growing up. So it could be also you trying to stay in this small little tight little box, and it's like, okay, it's time for you to grow. It's time for you to stop being the big fish in a small pond and go into the bigger pond or the sea where you need to be, where you can really grow, okay? So you could have people who may want to lash out based on views. Hopefully you're not the one who does. There's a lot that is happening, especially in places like the US, the Middle East, in Europe, you know, a lot of protests and stuff that are happening, a lot of people who have different political views, and some people may even say this goes beyond political views. This goes about, you know, what is moral, what is just, what is fair, okay? So those are themes that are going to come up for you, and then seeing, you know, where's the best place for you to be, even if it's physically, you know, when it comes to these things. Some of you may explore other cultures. This could be the potential for you to explore other cultures, even if it's through someone that you're dating, right? And that could help to expand your mind a bit. Please just don't be tone deaf and say something, put your foot in your mouth, say something that is, you know, not very demure. Teaching, self-study, mentors and gurus, these could all be themes that come up. You might notice that a mentor or a guru, you find one in the most unexpected place, okay? Like I said, maybe before, this might be someone who you might think that you were two different people, but then that arrow being pulled back, it's like, oh no, we kind of value the same things, we kind of have same thoughts and mind processes and stuff like that, right? When it comes to your quest for truth or the journey of your mind, I do feel other people and discussing morals, values, religious belief, political belief, all those things. This is a turning point for you in terms of how much you let these things influence you and influence the relationships that you have in your life. And I'm not saying it's bad to let it influence the relationship in your life. Sometimes that is what is necessary, okay? I'm trying to think when it comes to teaching and education for you. Because the third house has to do with like certifications, shorter courses, and the ninth house has to do with like longer courses of study. This could be as simple as some of you going from, I don't know, maybe teaching a small group of people to teaching more people, or from you graduating from taking smaller certifications into something, or even just considering and saying, hey, no, I think I want to go the long haul. I want to invest more. I want to actually go back to school rather than just doing a certificate online, okay? Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is happening in your 8th house. I'm gonna be real. Earth signs have a very emotional month coming up for the month of December, and I'm going to try to do the all signs astrology for at least the first half, if anything. You're dealing with a retrograde in your 8th house. The 8th house is the house of things that are hidden, right? Or secrets. It also has to do with things with like our addictions, our traumas, stuff that we share with others, shared responsibilities, shared assets, shared finances, okay? Because Mercury is there at 20 degrees, a very Scorpion degree, there could be a bit of deception for you all around shared resources. It's making an opposition to Jupiter there in your 2nd house. So who's hiding the money? Who's hiding the assets? Who's not carrying their load or responsibility here properly? These are things that can come up for you. And what these turn around and do is plant new seeds. It restructures the way that you share things with people if it falls under the umbrella of, shared resources and so forth. Now, it also has to do, because the 20 degrees also is a degree about like power and control. So someone could be using money or finances to have control over a situation. That could also be coming to light. I feel like there's a lot of hidden knowledge, especially with Mercury retrograde. Like someone may slip up and say something that they're not supposed to say. Okay, whether it be you or the other person. It all depends on your placements here, right? But I'm telling you the themes. Something could come up here, some type of sudden change that creates some type of new beginning as it relates to themes in your 8th house. So maybe you go for a loan. Maybe you realize the money that you two shared or had with someone else, whoever that person be, a business partner, family member, whoever, okay? It won't be enough that you need to go to a bank or you need to get some type of investor. There is an eye-opening moment, I feel, for you all in terms of your self-value, because that's what the 2nd house could relate to as well. In connection to the 8th house though, which the new moon is happening in, this has to do with like spiritual healing, rebirth, death and rebirth. And I feel death and rebirth is of the ego, of course, the ego itself. Evolution, your spiritual evolution. So with Jupiter retrograde there in your 2nd house, the question is being asked, especially with the Sabian theme that I came up, judging people by their looks, constantly changing things that comes to nothing, acting out impulsively, that representation of the goddess of opportunity. What have you been investing your money in? Are you using your money to chase things, to run away from things? Are you using it to create some type of illusion, falseness? And that's because you haven't been doing the internal work. And that's what Mercury retrograde there in your 8th house would ask you to do. And pretty soon, 5 days after this new moon, Mars is going to retrograde in your 4th house. So there's some deep healing around family trauma, childhood trauma, ancestral wounding that you're going to have to process, okay? A lot of your issues when it comes to finances, shared or by yourself, has a lot to do with self-worth. has a lot to do with things that are not healed within you. And so thanks to these retrograde, both in your second house and your eighth house, you're being forced to look within here. Okay, now we do have that 20 degrees there in your eighth house, which is about not growing up. And someone could call you out on that, or you're dealing with someone who isn't growing up, and then you're realizing, yeah, I can't, because I remember the major theme is, do we want the same thing? And shout out to my friend who, you know, as I was looking at the Sabian symbol and the themes for this, and I'm like, hold up, this is an energy of, do we want the same things? But him and I had a conversation earlier today, and he was like, he parted ways with someone because they didn't want the same things. So I'm like, okay, this is all tied in, right? So it will boil down to if you and someone want the same thing, if your values and your morals align, if you have different views, and it all comes down to the financial aspect of things. But that financial aspect of things comes from your sense of self-worth, from wounds and pains that you have not healed. Okay, let's move on to Gemini. Gemini, this is huge for you all. And like I'll tell Leo, you two are the signs that if there's anybody from the past that's coming back, yeah, it's gonna be you. And Gemini, it's going to be a committed ex-partner, meaning you had a solid foundation with this person. It's like this wasn't a little fling. Okay, because this is happening in your seventh house, and seventh house is the house of the committed partner, but it's also the house of our exes. Okay, and so when I spoke in the beginning, and I hope you watched the beginning, about the energy of the archer, of being pulled back to move forward, there's something about this new beginning in your love life, in your seventh house themes of partnerships, that is rooted in the past. And you having to revisit the past. Jupiter is retrograde there in your first house. Mercury is retrograde there in your seventh house. You could expect you and someone from your past to have some type of conversation around what you both wanted, what your expectations were. Okay? Or this could be someone that is still present in your life. They're not from the past, but then you're revisiting some type of theme, or because seventh house could have to do with agreements, verbal agreements, contractual agreements. You're revisiting it and like, are we still on the same page here? Do we still want the same things? Is it time for us to branch out? Like, you can think about those groups of the artists who they eventually go their own way, you know? So because this new moon is happening in your seventh house, this could be the other person who's represented by the other person in your life, whether that be an ex, an actual partner, a business partner, clients, someone that you have some type of legal agreement with. There's a new beginning happening in their life. And so with that, they're also going back to the drawing board about what it is that they want. Okay, and then that prompts a conversation between you and that person. You could have an ex who, maybe a goal that they were chasing when you two were together, they now have accomplished that. Something new is starting in their life, and they're going back to the drawing board, but I want Gemini with me. Gemini inspired this somehow. Or you could have a partner who they in a new beginning in their life, a business partner, a romantic partner, and they're saying, okay, Gemini, are you willing to come with me on this journey? And then you're like, but wait, hold up, who said this is what I wanted though? Okay, I don't want to have to move. I'm not saying you're gonna move, right? You're like, but I don't want to have to move. I don't want to have to start over. I don't want to have to sacrifice some certain things to support you in this. You know, these are the questions, but then it could also be positive too. You know, like they get awarded or rewarded for something, and you're accredited for that. Okay, they have a natural talent or skill that finally gets recognized in the area of their life where it needs to be recognized, and you are someone who were there supporting them all along. Okay, it doesn't have to be all bad. It's basically what I'm saying. Okay, now Because there is this energy of acting out impulsively, and Mercury is retrograde there in their 7th house. You're ruled by Mercury whenever, no, don't matter what sign Mercury retrograde happens in, because it's your ruler, it will affect you. Misunderstandings will happen, okay? And misunderstandings may happen around what this opportunity being presented to this person in the 7th house, or by this person represented by the 7th house, is putting forth to you. There could be some deception there that is involved, whether it be, you know, that person is getting something from somewhere, some type of offer where maybe you could see through deception. They can't see how, you know, they just believe that, oh, this was always what I wanted, but you could see it. And then there could be some type of misunderstanding there. Okay, if you're both trying to accomplish the same end goal, though, have that in mind. Or if you see the willingness of how far they are to go for this thing and what they're willing to sacrifice, then you have to ask yourself, well, do I want to be a part of this? Do I want to, you know, does this make sense to continue? Okay, so I want you to think about that. Venus, baking into the story, is Venus trine Uranus on that day. So you have Uranus there in your 12th house, Venus there in your 8th house. Okay. More than anything else, because it's 12th house and 8th house, and these are two moksha houses, I feel like this has to do with some type of spiritual liberation for you. You could be receiving money though for a skill or talent that you have, maybe from someone from abroad. 12th house energy with Uranus there, it could be shocking, unexpected. There could also be dreams with that combination, 8th house and the 12th house there, where you're like, oh, okay, I know what it is that I need to do next. Light bulb moment. Maybe a service to offer in the 7th house, or maybe the truth about something being dispelled to you in your dream about someone in your 7th house. Either way, there's new beginnings that's happening in your 7th house, and you start to see the things within 2 weeks, fullness within 6 months. Okay, let's move on to Cancer. Cancer, this is happening in your 6th house of work and service. Now, the 6th house isn't the best of houses from all the houses. Okay, what I could say about this though, this brings forth a new beginning in your health, the opportunity for a new beginning in your health. However, and I'm not a doctor, I cannot give medical advice. I'm reading the stars here. Whatever procedure, whatever pill, whatever it is that is put forward to you as something new to try, ask questions. This is Mercury retrograde. We're having this lunation in the same 6th house. Okay, so if you're going back to do some type of blood work, you get some type of result, but when you do your own research, you know what is they're telling you that you have, or whatever, it doesn't make sense, or they're just telling you that you have something and they're not doing any blood work. Do your due diligence, especially when it comes to your health. Okay, that's my health advice to you. Do your own due diligence. All right. This could be, I say it's not the best house, because this could be a house of enemies, litigation, debts that you owe people. So this may be a time where you're going for a loan. Okay. There is an opposition to Gemini in your 12th house. So unexpected expenses could be a thing. But then there could be some type of deception here around that unexpected expense. 12th house is also the house of hospitalization. So there could be maybe something that's not really adding up around some results or some diagnosis. So again, if that is the case, like I said, just do your due diligence. Make sure that you're not being overcharged, you know, maybe insurance saying you have to pay for something because the hospital overbilled, or, you know, something to that degree. Just do your due diligence there. Someone may want to give you a pet. I wouldn't take a pet from anyone under this energy. Honestly, I wouldn't. Because Mercury retrograde is there. Do you know everything that you know when it comes to having to take care of this animal? Are they being truthful about you, about, you know, everything? Are they fully, have they gotten their shots, whatever it is that is needed? Okay. Employee-employer relationships, Mercury is retrograde there. So you really do have to watch how it is that you're talking to the people that you work with, whether it's people who work for you or people that you work for, because misunderstandings can naturally happen. Now, could these misunderstandings push to you having some type of new start when it comes to work? Like, I don't know, you wanting to now work in a new department because, you know, things got real, right? Because like I said, Mercury retrograde at 20 degrees, that Scorpion degree, deception. I feel the deceptions they're coming out. I don't feel like it could be hidden because Mercury retrograde is there. Someone's going to slip up and say something that they were trying to cover, whether it be you or someone else. And then that pushes for some type of new beginning. Like, a new beginning has to happen now. Like, there's no going back. Okay? So, let me see what else I have here. Like I said, litigation, when it comes to like conflicts or dispute, things with enemies, legal matters. Jupiter is in your 12th house. I like when Jupiter is in the 12th house because it's a form of protection energy, because Jupiter is about what is just, what is fair, okay? And it's there where things are happening that is hidden. Now, if you're the one who's doing things that you're not supposed to do, please don't think Jupiter is just going to be on your side. Like, it doesn't work that way, okay? Especially since you have Saturn in the 9th house, which has to do with legal matters as well, okay? Anything I feel legal-wise, if you are on the right side of what is necessary in whatever legal proceedings that you, whether it's initiated by somebody else or you have to go through in order to allow the situation to play out, if you're on the right side of karma, then you won't have to worry too much about that. But just know that there's going to be something new. Mercury's retrograde, so new information coming to the surface that things could play out a little bit longer. It could delay it, okay, because more information comes up. But I feel ultimately it's going to be for your well, like for your benefit. You're just going to feel like it's another obstacle that I have to deal with, that I don't want to deal with, okay? I'm just seeing if I haven't missed anything. You may want to give holistic health practices a try. Did I miss anything? Oh, the Venus trine Uranus story. So Venus is there in your 7th house, and it's trining Uranus in your 11th house. I kind of like that energy because it's telling me if you want to put anything out into the online world, this is a good time to do it. There's favorable energy there for you. Also, if you would like to partner with anyone that you meet, like in some type of community network, wider network setting, or a group, there's favorable energy there with Venus as well. Or you could even like be shocked about who wants to partner with you, who wants to work with you. And then also that may bring you some type of new work opportunity, because 6th house is a work is the house of work, what we do on our day-to-day basis, okay? So that could be a positive story there for you also. Leo, this is happening in your 4th house. Like I told Geminis, if you have Leo and Gemini in your 1st house, please, there's definitely people from your past, romantically speaking, that will come back. But for you, Leo, specifically, this would be more like flings, people that you dated, but not in a really exclusive, committed sense. It may have never reached all the way there. It could even be situationships. Yeah. Okay. But not to stay too long on that. If those people do come back, the question about if you both want the same things will come up. And then you'll be able to decide within the next 2 weeks or 6 months whether or not this is something that would actually have any type of footing. Okay. Oh my goodness, I haven't been pulling cards. I'll do them at the end. So for you, when it comes to, because the fifth house is the house of our natural talents, okay, I feel you and Scorpios, I haven't gotten to Scorpio yet, but you and Scorpios may be the ones who are recognized for your natural talents and skills, and that open doors for you. Of course, there is this energy about deception and appearances, and just making sure that what is being presented to you is actually really what it is. Mercury is retrograde, so some details could be missing, whether that be purposely or just by accident. So let's see how that works out for you, right? Don't, if an ex comes back, or just someone that you were interested in, you're flirting with, that you had some type of romantic feelings for from the past, comes back, and you know, they're like, oh my gosh, this person is still fine, I'm still attracted to this person. Please don't be deceived by it, because you both don't want the same things. Or at least check to see that you both want the same things, and that person doesn't just try to pull a wool over your eyes here in this situation, okay? After all, Pluto is now there in your 7th house. The type of connections that should come into your life now should be transformational, not little flings anymore, okay? That energy got to go. So we have Mercury that is retrograde in your 11th house, and Jupiter there. No, sorry. Mercury is retrograde in your 5th house, and Jupiter is retrograde in your 11th house. Don't undersell yourself in situations with others. Okay, allow yourself to receive the rewards that you need to, because the 11th house does have to do with our long-term gains from our career. Jupiter is retrograde there. It's not at its best. It's not at its strength here, okay? But with the 5th house, with Mercury retrograde in your 5th house there, maybe imposter syndrome could set in. Maybe you could have some type of presentation that you have to do that you feel like you slip up, but still, there's just something intuitively telling me that just don't sell yourself short, okay? Know yourself and know your worth in this situation. Venus will trine Uranus on that same day. So for you, before I go back, maybe there's some type of opportunity that comes for some type of business idea that you have, okay? 5th house things, creativity, your content. And there's something small that could come to you that could lead to more. Maybe your imposter syndrome sets in and think that you don't have what it takes, okay? That is something that some of you may need to look at. Some of you, though, it may be that this situation really isn't that all what they're making it out to be, and so you have to really question things so you could answer whether it's really for you or not, okay? That's the theme of this new moon, whether something was really for you or not, okay? Even if it's things from your past that's coming back, business ideas, people that you work with, hobbies, you have to ask yourself if where you are in the present, if that still aligns with you, okay? So Venus is trine Uranus. Venus in your 6th house, and Uranus there in your 10th house. So this is a wrong work for you all. So I do feel some idea or natural skill that you have that could potentially play out on, you know, whether it be some type of creative content or just something that you bring to the workplace. These things definitely could get you some type of recognition, some type of awards, but just, again, don't sell yourself short, but also, you know, at the same time, don't be too over paranoid or don't be too trusting, okay? You're gonna have to balance it out. And also, if someone from your past comes back, make sure that this isn't just about the physical attractive energy that you have to this person and that you both want the same things, okay? Virgo, this is happening. I'm halfway through. This is happening in your 4th house. things are changing in your home life within the next 6 months. Some of you may want to move. You might not get to move immediately. You might have to wait until the dust settles, with Mercury actually going direct. There could be misunderstandings with people in your private life, right? Even if you don't live with them, somehow they make up your everyday day-to-day routine as it relates to your home life. It could be your family, someone that you live with. There's an opposition that is happening to your 10th house, okay? Now, the Mercury retrograde is happening at the day of this. It's having an opposition to Jupiter, but Mercury will be at 20 degrees, which is a degree of deception. So there could be some type of private secrets that is spelled, and somehow that influence your status publicly because Jupiter is there in your 10th house. Maybe you decide to, I don't know, get a divorce. Saturn is there in your 7th house anyways, asking you if you and this person could make it through hardships if you both want the same things. Maybe you decide to become single, move out. I'm just thinking about different ways that this could play out. Maybe you decide to sell a home, rent out a home. All these things would play into what your status is at the top of the chart there in your 10th house, what becomes publicly known about you. And because it's Jupiter retrograde, is in opposition, there's like something that's being pulled back. Now, will it stay that way? Maybe, maybe not. By the time retrograde ends and it goes forward and traverses over this sign again, and Jupiter and Mercury meet up again, then you'll know for sure if that is really what it is. On the same day, we have Venus trine Uranus. So Venus is in the sign of Capricorn. Uranus is in the sign of Taurus. Both these energies trine you. So this is your 5th house and 9th house. Very beneficial energy for you. Venus is there in your 5th house. Uranus is there in your 9th house. If some type of contract comes in for you, okay, because it could be for some type of skill you have there from the 5th house. If some type of contract comes in for you unexpectedly, for somewhere for you to go and travel unexpectedly, I don't know, maybe even a foreign person is romantically interested in you, because the 5th house could be romantic affairs as well. I would say go with it. Yeah, go with it. If some type of opportunity to travel, to study, okay, you know, up there, Jupiter up there in your 10th house is trying to expand your career. It's trying to expand your public reach, your image, okay? But there may be people as it relates to your 4th house that don't really agree with what you're doing, or they don't want what you want at this stage in life, okay? So things are going to definitely have to try to sync up there to see if this could work or if this can't work, okay? Even if it's not romantic, like even if it's your family and they're like, okay, but you might not believe in me, but I want to do this thing, so I'm going to proceed and do this thing. Let's move on to Libra. Libra, this is happening in your 3rd house of short distance travel, siblings, especially one younger than you, writing, communication skills, the way you communicate. The way you communicate is going to change, or at least it's going to have to change. You have Mercury that's retrograde there also, so expect a lot of miscommunication to happen for you the next 3 weeks, and it's playing into this story. There could also be news or information that comes in, and I feel it's going to be a bit of a, whoa, I didn't know that, I didn't expect that. Because Mercury is retrograde there at 20 degrees, and 20 degrees is that Scorpio energy of what is hidden, what is secretive, right? You could be going over, because Mercury is retrograde, going over some things from your childhood, ways that you interacted with people from your childhood, especially siblings, cousins, people in your community. There could be something about you that is acknowledged by these people that makes you feel seen. There could be something that you say or some type of idea, because tarot house has to do with the mind, some type of idea, some type of project that you have that also gets some form of green light or rewards, or gets you rewarded somehow. Some type of initiative gets you rewarded here somehow. So we do have Jupiter that is there in your 9th house, and it's opposing Mercury in your 3rd house. Jupiter feels comfortable in the 9th house, not necessarily comfortable in the sign of Gemini, but the themes that are related to the 9th house, it's comfortable with, right? So again, this is about the way you're expressing yourself. I feel, especially with the South Node still there in your 1st house, old thoughts, programmings, ideals, they're being burnt away by the South Node, and the you that you truly are to your core and your essence is emerging. Now that may create some type of divide based on the way that you choose to express it to people in your 3rd house, but then that pushes you to align with people who are more like-minded, or at the very least it uses you as a tool, right? That new moon there in your 3rd house, it uses you then to plant the seed for these other people in their mind, so that they could kind of like open up their awareness a bit more. Okay, Venus is trine Uranus, so Venus is there in your 4th house, and it is trine Uranus in your 8th house. Yeah, because you have Aries in the 7th. So 8th house and 4th house, you could get inheritance from a family member, like they gift you something. Doesn't mean somebody has to pass away, but this could be something that you receive from family. It could be some type of breakthrough with family too. Like I said, you could be the one who plants the seed here. Okay, I don't feel this is bad for you at all. I feel, because this lunacial textiles you too. So it's like the way you present yourself, or an opportunity comes up for you to, like, people look to you, they want to hear what you have to say, and you say something, and then that changes your relationship with these people. It changes the way that others see you. So use your voice, Libras. Let's move on to Scorpios. Scorpios, this is happening in your 2nd house. Okay, Mercury is also retrograde there in your 2nd house. So you're going over your budget, you're going over your assets, you're going over the way that you value yourself and how you use your finances to express that, or to make you feel good about yourself. Or give me a second. I've been talking for over and over. I know it's only 47, but I stopped and I started again. So yes, so even your 2nd house has to do with like your natural skills and abilities, your natural talents. Even those things you could be going over. Don't let imposter syndrome get the best of you if you are naturally talented, because I do feel this could be where you're receiving some form of my laptop died. This could be where you're receiving some form of recognition or be seen for this. Okay, and the reason I'm saying that is because you'll have Uranus there in your 7th house that will be trine Venus in your 3rd house. The 3rd house has to do with like your skills. The 3rd house has to do with like the way you express yourself. Okay, the way you're part of a community, your mind. So those two energies could be like, you could be shocking. You could put out some type of content that goes viral, that gets accepted by so many people. Sorry, excuse me. That gets accepted by so many people. Okay. Now there is the opposition between Jupiter and Mercury that day. Jupiter is there in your 8th house. Mercury is there in your 2nd house. So you, like Taurus, could be reviewing your finances, your shared finances, shared responsibilities with another. What you use your money to do, to possibly how you escape, how you run from something, realizing that either you being called out or you calling somebody else out on, how spending habits are reflected in self-worth and values. And then having the question of, do we want the same things? Do our morals align? Okay, because if you're somebody in Scorpios, normally you all, you're very evolved. And so you should know that the way that you look, or the way that someone looks, what they do with money, that isn't a representative of the true value of someone, that a lot of people use it to put on a mask. You should know that about others. You should be able to see through that. Okay? But are you able to see it when you're doing it in yourself? This may be where someone holds that mirror up to you, or this could be where you hold that mirror up to someone else and then you realize they're not willing to do the work, so we don't align. Okay? It could be as simple as that. All right. But like I said, windfalls, money owed to you could come back to you here. Okay? And possibly in ways that you didn't even think was possible. Like, because the 8th house could be other people's money. And then Mercury retrograde there is like something come to you like, I don't know. That's a good idea. Maybe you receive a check for something that you forgot about or you didn't even know about. Like I said, some of you could receive inheritance monies. Okay. Maybe someone could be moving away. Mars will retrograde soon in your 10th house, and that could change things in your career structures. Maybe you get a bonus, a sign-on bonus here, or some type of raise, you know. So Sagittarius, this is happening in your 4th house. This is about you. If you are born, let me see if I could do the math in my head. 9 degrees. So you'd have to be like the first week of December, around the first week of December, that you have your sun in close proximity to this. Then this could be a new start in your career and your purpose. If you have your rising sign anywhere between 4 degrees and 13 degrees, this is a new beginning in whatever area of your life. It could literally be any area of your life, okay? Sagittarius, Mercury is retrograde there though. So you may feel like others aren't really open to what you have to say, or they're just misinterpreting what you have to say. You may question whether or not your presence is valued. Some of you may feel like you're only there for eye candy, okay, for what it is that your parents brings to the table. But it's up to you what you use that opportunity to do, even if it is that brings you in the door. Jupiter is over there in your 7th house in relationships. How will you use that to further whatever partnership? And then it also begs the question, if you even want to align, you have the same values, right? If you even want to align with people who they only value those things, if you even want to align with people who, you know, purposely misunderstand you, okay? Now, there could be an energy of you acting off impulses here, or chasing things that really doesn't come to much, okay? So I'm just going to say it outright. If you were being deceptive, holding false ideologies, like, you know, you talk the talk but you don't walk the walk type energy, and you were being morally sitting on a high horse, this could be a time when you're knocked down, okay? Because with that Mercury retrograde at 20 degrees there, that deception energy, something that you have to say or something that you've said in the past, it could be like, I got the receipts, pull out the screenshots, put out the emails, that sort of thing, okay? When it comes to your one-to-one partnerships, the person represented by your 7th house, whether it be a romantic partner, an ex-partner, a business partner, a client, it comes down to the question of, do you want the same things? You might be going over things with an ex-committed partner, or a present committed partner, about something that happened in the past, and then checking to see if you ever both wanted the same things. That could be a question, okay? On the same day, we have Venus trine Uranus. So Venus is there in your 2nd house of earnings, and Uranus is there in your This is Sag, so you have a Gemini in your 6th house, 2nd house, 6th house. So you could get maybe a sign-on bonus. You could maybe win a litigation case. The money that was owed to you come back to you. You could have some type of breakthrough in your health. Okay, maybe someone holds you to the walk the talk thing. Maybe you weren't doing it when it comes to your health, because the 1st house is about the physical body too. Okay, especially if you have your moon in Sag as well, and you finally find a way to balance what it is that you ingest, because the 2nd house is what we put into our mouth as well. Okay, what am I missing? What am I missing? So that's 2nd house, 6th house. Maybe you find the right rental, because 6th house could have to do rental, like something, and like, because Uranus is there, it's like shocking. Oh my gosh, I get the best for my money type energy. Okay. Capricorns, this is happening in your 12th house. Like Virgo and Taurus, December is going to be a month where you really have to go within, whether you want to or not. You cannot work this away, my earth signs. Okay. This is going to be on a mental level for you, and you might be revisiting things from your past lives, present life, but what happened when you were younger. Really digging into the depths of your subconscious mind here. Mercury is retrograde in your 12th house. Jupiter is retrograde in your 6th house. So this could be karmic debts. Those are 2 karmic houses, the 12th house and the 6th house. It has to do with life lessons. It has to do with challenges. Because Mercury is at that 20-degree mark, which is about the deceptions, the secrets, and it's there in your 12th house. You could uncover secrets, because the 12th house is about things that are hidden, whether it be secrets from others, things that maybe your own subconscious mind possibly buried so many years ago from maybe when you were a child or whatever. And then you have some type of breakthrough moment. Really pay attention to your dreams. Your dream state should be hella active with Mercury retrograde there. And it has been since Mercury moved into your 12th house, actually, and it's going to be there until January. So write your dreams down. They have messages for you. Someone is lying to you. It could be seen through your dreams. Okay. You may want to hash things out or talk about things that happened in the past with someone. No, of course, you're a cardinal signs. Cardinal signs don't really like to discuss their feelings like that. Outside of Cancer, that is. But I would still advise you to have someone, even if it's yourself, and you write things out. Maybe through writing it out, you get some breakthrough aha moments, right? Pluto just moved out of your 1st house. So there should be a lot that has uncovered over the past 15 years, since 2008. You should be a lot that you've uncovered about yourself. And now with Mercury retrograde there in your 12th house of the subconscious mind, of what is in the repressed, of what it is that we try to escape and how we try to escape, of isolation and solitude. You might be spending time by yourself just to think a lot. Like you're gonna kind of feel irritated being around others. You might feel like they don't have much to say, because there is that energy there of difference of views and opinions, wanted to be around like-minded people. This could be a time where you're really able to see, or tap into that high priestess energy. So you're really able to see through what others present on the surface. And then it's going to kind of make you look at them sideways like, yeah, right? So some of you may want to try to escape, get away, travel to some foreign lands, okay? Of course, Mercury is retrograde there, so delays, miscommunication when it comes to flights and stuff like that, those are all possibles. This is also a house of loss and endings and unexpected expenses too. So those things can potentially come up for you. In terms of loss and endings, you may go over some things that ended and lost, because it's Mercury retrograde. So It's not something new. It's going to be something from the past that ended or lost that comes up back for you to possibly emotionally and mentally process. Okay. One second. Let me go back to I'm seeing here it's also about unconditional love and acceptance. So that could be about the karmic debt, okay, or the karmic lesson that has to do with the 6th house. Because like I said, the 6th house has to do with our life lessons, right? Our karmic life lessons too. So you may be having some important lessons there. And then like the Archer, you pull back before you move forward, and then that create some type of new beginning for you emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Aquarius, this is happening in your 11th house. Friends from the past can come back. I forgot to tell Libra, friends from their past could come back too. But you or them, you know, you or an ex-friend, you could be revisiting old friendship cycles, and I don't know. You may ask yourself whether friends are present or it's people from the past, whether you and these people, you value the same things, whether it's just a misunderstanding that happened with something, or did you and this person or this group of people, were you really all along not alike? Okay, or like I said, or it could be like it was just a misunderstanding and you both, you know, were trying to get to the same end goal, but there was maybe some type of protection barrier when it comes to how it is that someone feels what they're trying to protect themselves with. That comes up. Okay, I feel if some friendships break down right now, that's not going to be the last of that. Expect it to have some type of revision when Mercury goes direct. You're going to go back over whatever it was that was said, and then, you know, you'll definitely be able to decide for good whether or not you want to continue that friendship or be a part of that team or that group of people. Okay, you could revisit all long-term goals and aspirations that you had for your career, and see whether or not this is something in the present that you still want to do. Whether, even if it's not you who go back to it and this is something that is presented to you again, then you could ask yourself, at this stage of where I am, is this something that still aligns with me or does it not? Okay, now Jupiter is retrograde and making an opposition to Mercury from your 5th and 11th house. So Jupiter is there in your 5th house. You want to expand on your creativity, your goals. You may even want to have children, or you're questioning whether or not you want children. You are wanting to experience more romance in your life. You may be at that space where you wanna, because the 5th house is about pleasure, fun, and joy. You want to experience much more of those things, right? But then we have Mercury over there in your 11th house. And are you around people who are kind of like suck the joy out of you? Where things kind of get lost in translation. Maybe your definition of joy and fun does not really match up with what their definition of joy and fun is. And then having to have some type of conversation around that, right? On the same day, we do have Venus that is trine Uranus. Oh, before I go there, the new moon for you in your 11th house, like I said, it could be friends from the past that's coming back, or old groups, themes that you work with, old goals and aspirations that you have. Be careful, because there could be an energy of deception around what is presented for you. Like, say maybe some type of old group wants, or old friend comes back around and they make it seem like, yeah, you know, this is good this time around, and then maybe there's something that they're not really telling you, or maybe there's a level of immaturity that they have present, or maybe it's just they want to use you to gain something else because of your natural talent, because of what they know that you'll be blessed with. Okay, now there's also the flip side here, which I more feel like it's about them than you, but don't judge a book by its cover here. Don't think that you should be a part of this group, or you should be friends with these people, or you should pursue this aspiration still, if you're not really sure on what it is rooted in for you, because you may be chasing some type of propaganda or lie that, you know, someone is just putting on some type of front and making it seem something that is really not, okay? But on the same day, the energy that is baked in, we have Venus trine Uranus here. Venus is there in your 12th house. Uranus is there in your 4th house. Some of you may be moving homes. You're like moving far away, okay? Some of you may be having some breakthroughs when it comes to ancestral karma, or what is seen as ancestral trauma. Okay, you could be having more pleasures. You be having more pleasures at home. Okay, it's 12th house. 12th house is the house of bedroom pleasures, and then you have Uranus there in your 4th house. Okay, it's a trine, so I don't feel like there's anything bad that's going to happen there between those two energy. I just feel like, if anything, you're gonna have some unexpected fun. Okay. Okay, lastly, Pisces. Pisces' energy is happening very public for you. It's happening in your 10th house. There's this energy of being acknowledged, your presence being acknowledged, you being rewarded for some type of natural skill or ability. Well, you know, Pisces, you all have this ethereal beauty about you all. My son is a Pisces rising, and I swear everywhere I go, this boy gets compliments. This boy his presence makes me have conversations with strangers, and I am naturally introverted, so it's not always what I want to do, but somebody wants to comment on something about him. Yeah, but that is what happens a lot for Pisces people. Their beauty, their presence is just so outer worldly that you can't help but stop and stare, right? So definitely it's happening on top of the sky for you all. So your looks could get you into rooms, okay? You could get small rewards that leads to bigger and better things. There is an opposition that is happening between Mercury there in your 10th house and Jupiter there in your 4th house. So there could be some type of change that happens for you publicly. Change in your status, change in your career, some type of information that goes out there about you. And it relates to your home life, your private life. Because Mercury will be at 20 degrees, it could be something that is not common knowledge that now becomes public knowledge. Okay? And with Jupiter there in your 7th house now, in your 4th house, it's like the spotlight is really on you, because the 17th degree is a Leo degree. Okay? So it's kind of like that fame, that celebrity energy. So it's like the spotlight really, really and truly becomes on you. And this may be in relation to I almost said your conception, your existence. But no, this may be in relation to something that you received. I'm starting to feel like something that you've received. And this could not be like what you're receiving now, but maybe what you received in the past, or what you should have, because the opposition there in the 4th house, what you should have received in the past, and it becoming public. But either way, it starts a new beginning for you there in your 10th house. Okay. Now, my only caution around this is things may not be what it appears to be. You know, this could be where someone uses your presence for their gain to make them look better. Okay, but could you spin this to your benefit somehow? Maybe. This could also be where you get some type of small reward publicly. Okay, something about acknowledgement for a natural skill, a talent, or something like that publicly. And then that leads to more opportunity for you, bigger opportunities for you down the line. Be careful of acting out impulsively, especially since this is happening in your 10th house, and Mercury is retrograde there. So, you know, watch out for misunderstandings, watch out for blowouts there, because it's public, it's in the 10th house. Again, I feel like if Pisces placements, you know, Pisces rises on the moon, if you exhibit any type of like nasty, shallow behavior and you think that you're doing it privately, it's going to come out publicly. Okay, so that's just a caution. On the same day, we have Venus trine Uranus, Venus there in your 11th house, Uranus there in your 3rd house. So that could do with siblings, 3rd house and 11th house. That's like older sibling, younger sibling. That could also do with communities, local community, online community, wider community. So I don't know. That's why I feel like there's something about you that is just going to be put out there, both privately and publicly, at the top and at the bottom of your sky. It's in your favor, though. The trines are very beneficial. Maybe there's a talent that you have that people are acknowledging in your local community. Like, say you're a baker, people are buying from you, but then they're posting about you online there too in the 11th house. Okay, so it could be very beneficial for you there. Put yourself out there, because both those energies, they're sextile you, and so it's about you taking advantage of these opportunities that are being presented to you. Be careful of imposter syndrome with this, because again, it could seem like an opportunity is too good to be true when it is good. With Mercury retrograde in the mix, it just says that you have to do your due diligence. Okay, all right, so I'll just pull one set of cards. I was to do individually for each sign, but ain't nobody got time for that. Well, no, I don't have time to go back and do that. This is already over an hour. So let me put 3 for everyone. The collective energy of this new moon in Sag. I'm gonna pull one card for new moon in Sag, the Mercury Jupiter opposition, and the Venus trine Uranus. So Mercury, new moon in Sag, please, at 9 degrees. What is this energy for collective? Whoa, Queen of Pentacles. I like to see that. And we have the Hierophant at the bottom with the Fool and the 8 of Pentacles. A lot of opportunities here. Opportunities to celebrate here. There goes that golden hair goddess of opportunity, right? I mean, it's not golden, but there goes that golden coin here. I just feel, because this is the Queen of Pentacles, I feel it goes back to what I'm saying. Even if the opportunity seems too good to be true, there's a level of deception. It's what you take and make of it that makes a world of difference, okay? We will clarify, though. Mercury opposite Jupiter, please. What is this energy about for the collective? December 1st. We have the 2 of Pentacles, which makes sense. 2 opposing forces, right? Weighing the pros and cons. Exactly. What makes the decision maker in the situation is that Mercury at 20 degrees. I said 20 degrees is that hidden energy. If something is bothering you here, get more details about it before you make a decision or before you accept something, okay? And I also feel here that there's going to have to be a lot of talks, okay? A lot of conversations around the finality of everything. Meaning, no, don't just say, oh, I'm just gonna start working at some place. What is gonna be like working there? Are there any benefits? Are there any drawbacks? Do I get time off? If this happens, how will you all handle it? How have you handled this in the past? You know, it has to be a lot of conversation before you just accept whatever is given to you. Okay? I know it may seem amazing with the Sun card here, but there's just that energy of caution. Venus trine Uranus. Venus trine Uranus. Knight of Cups offer. Justice. You have Justice and the Queen of Wands here. And this could be where that shallow energy comes in, because this is, you know, Libra energy, Venus energy, a Leo energy, Venus and Leo. It's that vein type energy. So it's like, okay, people may be giving you opportunities. The trine is there. It's favorable. They may be coming to you, giving you things, because this is an energy of you receiving something. But what it might be rooted in, what it might be rooted in here for you all, you may not like it, okay? But again, it's what you take and make that opportunity. Take and make with that opportunity. And that is where this middle energy comes in, between the discussion between Mercury and Jupiter. Could we find the middle ground? Does the pros outweigh the cons? Yeah, King of Wands to the bottom. So that is definitely about having to make fair and just decisions here. Tell me more about the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, Knight of Pentacles. This is, look, the Knight of Swords. I also see the Three of Swords here. So it could be something from the past that fizzled out very quickly, or the way it played out, it abruptly ended, okay? But it's been slowly building back, coming towards you, and you've been slowly maturing as well to be, I feel, an energy of reception of it, or you've matured past it, because the Queen of Pentacles is much more mature than the Knight of Pentacles, okay? So maybe that, yeah, or you may have healed past it, so maybe that thing isn't for you anymore. For each of you, it's going to be different. Now, I'm seeing a lot of court cards here. So the interaction with others, because Mercury is retrograde, of course, is going to be very pivotal in this new moon story. Knight of Cups, Venus trine. Yeah, the Three of Swords. This is what I'm feeling. It's like something from the past now makes it way back. What it may be rooted in, Page of Pentacles, what it may be rooted in comes from looking back, that Archer, pulling backwards, right? Comes from looking back at what was wanted, or the value that someone has, and now realizing how valuable that person is, okay? And then as a result, wanting to make some type of offer, because with the Sun card here, it's a recognition, it's clarity. Last one, Two of Pentacles, please. Mercury, Jupiter position, Two of Pentacles. Let's see the two sides of this coin. First one is the Two of Swords. Yeah. I saw the Eight of Wands just now, so there goes the communication. There's a blockage of communication that is coming undone, okay? If two people weren't talking, they're gonna get to more talking now. If information wasn't free-flowing, it's going to get more free-flowing. What's the next side of this coin? Yeah, and it's revisiting things from the past. Five of Swords. Woof. Three of Pentacles, okay? People that you worked with in whatever capacity, all right? And trying to figure out whether you can work with this person or not, because there is energy for some where it's going to be a bit of an ego thing, okay? And some of you may realize someone is too driven from their ego, and you don't want to have to deal with that, okay? And you shouldn't have to if you don't want to. So that's kind of where the revision of the past comes in here, okay? Becoming crystal clear about who played what in what role, okay? Because like I said, the offers may be coming back, but it may be from people, places, and things that once caused you some type of discomfort, hurt, or pain, and now asking yourself from a truthful and honest place, can I work with this? All right, y'all. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, be blessed.